Greetings. I am Legacy Moon, and this is True Crime and Mysteries. Welcome back, current subscribers. Welcome back to those of you who visit my channel, and welcome to those of you who are here for the very first time. If you or someone you love has been a victim of any type of abuse, please call one of the following numbers. The SA hotline is 1-800-656-4673. Human trafficking hotline 1-888-373-7888. And the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children 1-800-843-5678. In the year 2020, Baton Rouge, Louisiana police arrested a 23-year-old homeless man, and they alleged that he essayed a juvenile in an abandoned building. This man's name was Sergio Bowie, and he was charged with third-degree rape after a woman notified police saying that she saw Bowie chasing the juvenile away from an abandoned building. The woman further stated that the juvenile told her that Mr. Bowie had molested him and chased him. Now, according to the affidavit, when the police arrested Mr. Bowie, he told the police that he knew what he did was wrong. He told the police that the young boy in a school uniform, which I don't know about where you live, but where I live, they don't wear uniforms past elementary school. But anyway, he says that this young boy approached him at a convenience store and asked him for $1. Mr. Bowie gave him the dollar, and he said the boy began to walk away, and the boy began to follow him. And he asked Mr. Bowie, would he be his boyfriend? Mr. Bowie said he refused, but the boy kept asking, so he told the boy to go with him to the abandoned building. Once they got to the building, Mr. Bowie said that he told the boy to remove his pants, and the boy did. And Mr. Bowie said that he started whooping the boy, causing him to flee the building. This is his story. However, the victim says that Mr. Bowie dragged him into the building and forced him to perform an act on him. The juvenile said he pulled down his pants and after Bowie told him to, but he ran from the building. And that's when Mr. Bowie started hitting him. Mr. Bowie was booked into the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office. Now, he was found guilty of that charge, and what you are about to watch is his parole hearing. He is trying to get out just a little bit earlier than his expiration date.
Okay, sorry, sir. I had the wrong packet. So let me read the identifying information. You're classified as a second felony offender. You are currently serving a 5-year sentence. You were sentenced. You have indecent behavior with a juvenile sentencing date in East Baton Rouge, July of 2021. You have another sentencing for unauthorized entry. You were initially sentenced in 2017, but you were revoked, given probation and revoked again for the new felony conviction. Your parole eligibility was October 16 of 2023. You don't earn good time, and your full term date is January 16, 2025. Does all that sound right?
Yes, ma'am.
Your case has been assigned to Mrs. Stapleton. Would you answer her questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Good
I
morning.
wanted to ask you a question. I guess we'll start with the burglary. What went on there?
Um, I believe I was 16, just turning 17, and I was hanging with some guys, and it was drug influenced. You know what I mean? I didn't really have anything to do with the initial burglary, but growing up around King Bradford and Baton Rouge, you know what I'm saying, is you're held to a specific standard, and I made a mistake, and it's a term, you know what I'm saying, real nigga, as they call it. I wanted to be one, so we refer to it as taking a lick for your partners. You understand? So that was my first initial mistake. Then the re-entry, the unauthorized entry, this was back in 2017. I had just come home from serving a little time for the burglary, and the flood had happened in 2016. I never was really able to get my feet on solid ground, so I wound up living on the street. So I was staying in this building off college. I had a job at the time, actually. I was working at the IHOP, I was trying to have some sort of revenue coming in, just so that I'm not a complete and total disaster of a man. And I wound up going to jail for that. Basically was not squatting, but I was basically homeless staying in this building off college. And then I wound up, I come home in 2020. And then, I seen you scratch your ear about the whole indecent behavior with a juvenile. Now, ma'am, okay, I've pretty much served all my 20s in jail. I have never did any homosexual activities, but I noticed that, like, Matthew chapter 7, verse 1 says, Judge ye not that ye be judged. How can I judge you, for doing this when I was a thief growing up, you know? But I noticed that the over homosexualization of young boys, and it's a long story, ma'am, but they caught me with some drugs because I've suffered with addiction since I was about 17, you know, and they told me that basically they gave me an ultimatum, this or that, but they made it seem as if, I was just gonna do this, then I was gonna have to register for 5 years, and then I'd come home roughly 2 years prior after. I really kind of got duped on the whole situation, but I am not a pervert. I am not a pervert, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm pretty much, just pretty much duped myself with this whole situation, So I've made mistakes in life, and this being one of the big ones. Um, if I could do it all over again, I'm pretty sure anybody in my current predicament would, but this is I've learned not to say it is what it is. I learned to say it is what you make. And unfortunately, this is what I've made it. You understand?
One question though, while you're saying all this, let's get to, did you rape a juvenile?
No, ma'am.
So that's a false allegation,
Yes, ma'am.
and you accepted the charge for it,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then later on, I see where you've absconded in 2021 and your parole was revoked. How about all of that? That was your
I'm
fault,
not
different caused it?
I'm not exactly sure how I absconded, when I forget my parole officer's name,
Okay,
and hear me out. Um I would come visit her often. Granted that
okay,
I was only out there from Thanksgiving Day to January 16, 2020.
okay.
I believe that I roughly seen her, if not once a week, once every other week. And then when I came to jail, she told me to she told me not to revoke, you know. So that's probably why it probably looks as if it took forever for me to revoke the probation or parole or whatever it was I was on.
Mhm. Okay, well, I see where you've taken quite a few classes and you take sex offender 1, 2, 3, and 4 class, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and victim awareness, correct?
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm unaware
No.
of what victim awareness is.
Okay, well, that's an excellent class. And the reentry and anger management, did you take that, or did you take more classes and I'm just not aware of it?
I've taken reentry before, but I have yet to take it again, ma'am.
Okay, anger management?
They, the facility that I'm in, they would not place me in other classes due to my offender class.
Okay,
So I kind of,
values.
ma'am.
So you've taken the sex offender class, right? And then earlier, the reentry class. Those are the 2 classes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that, I understand. Okay, you do have strong, law enforcement opposition. You do, and victim opposition also. So it's something that you should know. I'm gonna pass it along to my, other board members.
So what do you do? What are you doing now? Are you in class or you have, what do you do all day?
Pretty much nothing. I'm literally just laying. I've been praying for this moment here. Rather rather my parole get accepted or denied, my prayers have been answered here. I'm not gonna throw the whole Jesus mumbo jumbo in your face trying to all let him free. No, regardless to the fact of the matter is, you know what I mean?
So no matter what happens today, you have a release date
Of January 16th.
in next year. So what are your plans? You on your master prison record, it shows your address as being homeless. So what arrangements have you made for housing?
My mother, she's pretty much been with me through this whole ride. So I do have somewhere to go, some sort of
That-
stable job. No, ma'am, it's in Walker.
Okay, so that's good. You plan to move away from the Baton Rouge area. That's a good thing.
Respectively. I plan on doing the necessary steps of these next 15 years, with the registration and all that. Cause I've learned that you have to not want to come back to this place, because it's been like these past 4 years have been like some of the worst days of my life, but it's been a real journey of mine, Now, granted that I understand the whole offender class situation, it's been a lot of doubt in my mind that y'all would even much this meeting would even much happen, because I've like I've heard the tales, sex offenders don't get parole. And like I said, it is what I've made it, but my plans are really just to just live life. I mean, I've spent the majority of my 20s incarcerated. I started coming to jail when I was 17. I really never gave myself a shot, and it's just now, just live until the end.
So, is the board prepared to vote? I am. Mrs. Stapleton will be voting.
A lot of what you said makes a lot of sense for the future of your life, and I really hope that you are able to do it and prepared to do it. I'm not going to give you parole today, and instead, I think the full-time release is good for you. I hope you can get even another class, especially a victim awareness class if they offer it there. I hope you can get into that. And your full-time date is 1/16/25, as you stated. So maybe you've got enough time to do something like that. But also when you get out, I hope that you will attend Narcotics Anonymous and AA meetings, because I know that you had said that that is the root of your problem.
Yes, ma'am.
And right now where you're at, you're not surrounded by that. And I don't care where you go nowadays, drugs are everywhere and alcohol's on the countertop. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I know. Hearing. So I want you to take care of yourself and the people around you. Homelessness is terrible. And it's wonderful that your mother's going to take you in. And I wish you well. I really do.
Thank you.
Mr. Freeman?
I concur.
Yeah, I enjoyed speaking with you and hearing from you, Mr. Bowie. I do agree with Mrs. Stapleton. I believe that this joust, as they say, may have saved your life. And I'm glad that you have somewhere to go with your mom in January of next year and make the best of the rest of your life. Good luck to you. My vote today is to deny,
Thank
but
you.
wish you well.
Yeah, be blessed.
Thank you. That concludes our business in Franklin, so we're going to sign off at 10:07.